The big buzzword in education these days is 21st century skills, and creativity by and far is what is going to be solving the problems of the 21st century.
Creativity in general is being talked about a lot, but people aren't really clear always what they mean by creativity and critical thinking. Where in their lesson do the children have to connect what they already know and do something with that experience that is uniquely their own? And that is what we call creativity.
When there are too many rules, it's debilitating for a kid. It does limit their ability to tap into their own knowledge and their own experiences.
The more answers that are possible, the better the question.
I have a hard time buying classroom-made materials or teacher-made materials because, truthfully, I think a lot of them are just cheesy. And when I saw the WRiTE books, I felt like, oh, this is a respectful way to treat a person.
What I love about a WRiTE book is that handing it to a child, it is an assignment, and it's definitely something I'm going to use to assess them, but it doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like pressure. It is something extremely exciting and fun and motivating for them to do.
Anytime you give a child the opportunity to create, what you're doing is you're giving that child a voice. Children's natural inclination is to say, nothing happened at school, or how are you doing? I'm doing fine. It's really hard for parents and teachers to draw information out of children. And so tools like WRiTE books will help children access the stories that are there.
When I first think about writing a WRiTE book, I'm super excited, but then that adult side of me, it's like, I'm nervous, I'm gonna be critiqued. So giving this to kids at such a young age, that's not gonna be part of their mindset when they're adults, and I think that might be one of the most brilliant aspects of a WRiTE book.
The quote from one of my staff members was that they felt this project was so awesome because it gave the kids the opportunity to not only expand their writing skills but also their imaginations with looking at a story that was just illustrated and write a book on it.
The really wonderful thing is that it didn't stifle creativity and imagination because the pictures themselves proved not to be a script.
That's what a really vibrant, interesting, complex image does for you. It gives you a circumstance that your brain can use to start making creative associations, making connections. And everybody's connections are going to be different.
I learned so much about each of them individually. As writers, I got to see that, this child was able to come up with the most extraordinary storyline and use the most amazing storyteller's voice. And I got to learn that that same child really needed help with punctuation. And what a better way to help a child with punctuation when they're completely invested in telling a story that they want other people to hear.
70% of our students come from homes where only Spanish is spoken. This is moving them forward by leaps and bounds in how they see that they can take English and own a language.
When you're teaching a child through his or her strengths and preferences, they feel better understood by the adults around them, and their learning is made more meaningful.
I can't wait to create a classroom library of WRiTE books written by my students, for my students.
It's the most exciting project I feel like I've been involved with in a very long time.